Hey guys, what's going on? Crypto Marco here, and in today's video we'll take a look at a very interesting theory because lately there hasn't been too much interesting news in the cryptocurrency space. Most of the people were gone for their Easter vacation and there aren't a lot of interesting things, but this article is all over the place, made by Super Crypto. They want to try to find correlations and causations in Bitcoin price movement, and they have a very interesting theory that there is a cartel behind a market manipulation going on in the cryptocurrency space. We're going to take a look at the theories that actually the hypothesis that they propose in this article. So if you enjoy the video, make sure to leave it a thumbs up and comment down below, because among everybody who's commenting, I am giving away a small amount of Litecoins. So good luck, and let's see what kind of opinion do they have. So keep in mind that everything said in this video is my personal opinion and not financial advice. So basically what they're saying is, look, on the 17th of December, the Bitcoin futures got issued. Exactly at that time, a decline of the price started. 30th of January, we saw the first big FUD, and then on the 7th of March, we saw the next big FUD. Now, what they say is it's kind of likely that this is not a coincidence, that the first FUD came on the 30th of January and the next one on 7th of May. So you can see SEC holds one of the largest ICOs, 7 a.m., 10 a.m., US regulators subpoena Bitfinex, 11 a.m., Facebook to ban Bitcoin and crypto. All of these news all at once. And then we have on the 7th of March, pretty much the same pattern. The items listed under January 30th and March 7th below are the news only. This is how cartel uses media propaganda to break the price. Example, Mt. Gox did not sell on March 7th, but the news of this sale was released on March 7th. Also, the Tether subpoena was issued in December 6th, but the news was released with the other critical news releases on January 30th, with the objective to start the next dump. Why did they wait 55 days to release the Tether subpoena news, and how did it hit with all other bad news on the same day? Now you know why. So put on your tinfoil hats. It seems like we have a little conspiracy going on. I don't want to, make fun of them by saying it's a conspiracy theory, but in my opinion, there's just a lack of evidence. But still, it's interesting to see that all of these news happen all in a very short amount of time at the same time. And something else that you point out is that every time it seemed as if the Bitcoin price was going up, as if the Bitcoin price was breathing, the market was doing well. We saw this huge selling volume that came in and dumped the price every time for 50 minutes. Interesting. Is it a coincidence? I don't know. See what happened. Crypto exchanges OKX on March 30th. So something, you should be aware of the fact that there's something called spoofing. And spoofing is basically when you have a big account and you make a lot of sell or buying orders and you cancel them immediately afterwards. How do you do that? You simply install a bot and the bot cancels everything. And what this does is, despite not executing the buying or selling orders, it's still moving the price. So if a whale does that, it can move the price a lot. And simply, this is called spoofing. It's manipulation of the market and is highly illegal and shouldn't be done. But still, the crypto market is super unregulated, so it is being done. OKX said this: "Dear valued customer, on March 30th, a number of users performed unusual transactions to manipulate the price of Bitcoin quarterly future contract, making it deviate greatly from the Bitcoin index. Based on our team's investigation, the user closed a huge amount of positions at market price without considering the cost, causing it to drop to an unusually low level. We will disclose the transaction details and further notice." So basically what you have to know is that the future contracts are bound to a sort of index that is being calculated based on the prices that are going on all different exchanges. So by dropping the price of one certain exchange, you can definitely manipulate the future contract. And what you have to know is, every time in every market where you see a future contract, the volatility of the commodity which is being sold at this on a future contract is a lot lower. So the volatility is simply taken out of the whole picture. That's, I mean, not totally, but a lot. So it's simply because there are commodities out there that have to be bought at a certain price. So a future is basically a contract where you have the guarantee that a good is being bought on at a certain time for a certain price. So for example, if somebody is growing wheat and he produces flour, he has to get a certain price for that flour or else he will go bankrupt. And that's why he says, okay, I will sell you a pound of flour for $10, and if the price is $12, then I guess I make a loss, but at least I have my $10, and whoever buys the flour has a $2 profit. Now, what they point out as evidence is that, for example, when when uranium futures were introduced, you see that the price went down immediately, and it's like, oh my God, how can we be so blind? It's so obvious that as soon as the futures kicked in, the price went down. Well, it's not that easy in my opinion. Of course, it might look like, you know, the price got manipulated, but you have to keep in mind that before this certain time frame, there was a huge demand for uranium, and afterwards it just wasn't. So we saw the financial crisis, we saw Fukushima, and they also point out that this similar thing happened with gold and silver. But once the US had a debt of $21 trillion, that the price went down, and that was, you know, basically market manipulation to make money off that. Now, again, tinfoil hats, no actual proof in my opinion, but market manipulation is definitely going on. As you can see, CFTC has been investigating towards Deutsche Bank, UBS, and HSBC for manipulating the future markets. As you can see, look what happens when I type in future. Basically, something that's interesting, my professor told me this in my university, is that the Deutsche Bank is basically in their open ledger, they have a position open for juristical penalties that they have to pay. So they already prepare money for paying penalties because they know that they're going to commit certain financial crimes and get penalized for that, but still they make greater losses by committing those crimes compared to not committing them. So that's what their mentality is when it comes to money. Why do they do this? It's all about money control. Financial elite has recognized that Bitcoin and crypto in general is a threat to their existence. What do powers do when they see anything as a threat or enemy? You got it. They try to destroy the enemy by all means. Therefore, it is extremely important for the financial elite to stop Bitcoin's rise so their show can continue. What do they do to stop the rise of Bitcoin? They first let it rise to unimaginable height, then they drop it to unimaginable lows. They will do this many times. They have trillions of dollars to maintain the show going until the retail investor gives up in frustration. What you are seeing since mid-17 is just the first inning of 9 innings Bitcoin game. Bitcoin has been placed into geopolitical chessboard since mid-2017. Most of the Bitcoiners have no idea how big this game is. Crypto space is just a pawn on this chessboard, and there are elite fingers moving these pawns, such as gold, silver, and now Bitcoin. So very interesting theory here. So something, and here they are comparing the whole thing with gold, because why don't they just ban Bitcoin? Two things happen when a particular asset is banned. We saw that with gold, 1933. Governments and politicals have to face people's anger, and second, the banned asset gets people's sympathy. They tend to hoard it even more. It did happen to gold since 1933. And there's another option, price suppression, which is pretty much going on right now. This works far better than banning anything. When price suppression happens, first, most of the people reject there is anything wrong or malicious about the price drop, even though the fundamentals are strong in favor of the asset. In fact, those point out the suppression are called conspiracy theorists. Second, As price keeps dropping, people start despising the asset. See what happened to gold and silver since 2011. The more it dropped, the more people hated it. Many gold bugs sold precious metals at the bottom and switched over to Bitcoin and crypto when it was at the top. This is exactly what they want the retail investor to do, as they collect more of it at the lower price. So you have a choice. You can recognize the threat. And in my opinion, we have more choices than that. So this is where I have to critique the article again. Recognize the threat. Is there really a threat? I'm not really sure about that. So what strategy is this motherfucker using? STFR, sell the fucking rallies. BTFDD, buy the fucking deep dips. So this is pretty much a visualization of how you can do that. You can buy the fucking dip and then sell the fucking rally. I apologize for my language. In my opinion, you don't really have to do that, because first of all, you don't have to take every damn swing here, and second of all, when you're at the low, you don't know if you're at the low, you don't know if it will keep going down. So it's easy in hitherto to point out these rallies and these lows, but still kind of not so sure about that. The CME has already said that they are going to tame the Bitcoin. So did they say we're going to tame it? So I think they said it because they wanted to take out the volatility of Bitcoin, because then back then Bitcoin had a huge volatility. And as you can see, how will this end? One day the cartel will lose control of the market. That day will be epic. The price of Bitcoin will rise astronomically. My Bitcoin path is 20K to 100K. Many people ask me, why do you think it will go to 1K? Here's what I suggest. If cartel exists, what I mean is they want to bring it to so low that people will despise Bitcoin. If you feel it's 4K, then it's 4K. It's a war of real money versus fake. They're using fake money to discredit it. And basically what they say, the bankers will lose because what we have is real money and they cannot fuck with our nice Bitcoin. So this is our hopium. First is said, and now he's talking about also about what the crypto community as a whole is saying, how they are trying to explain the whole crash. First, they said the correction is because Bitcoin Cash was listed at Coinbase. Then they say it's Tether subpoena. Then they said, no, it's Mt. Gox selling. Later on, Mt. Gox changed his dates of selling. No, it's because of Facebook ban, then Google ban, then Twitter ban. Market is still failing. What is the next excuse, people? So in my opinion, I think that it's more likely that these bad news are, just adding to a climate where we already have realized that prices were just bloated and they were looking for an excuse to basically get dumped. And in my opinion, these kind of things are more likely than a cartel. Although I have to say, I find this theory, this hypothesis really interesting. In my opinion, it kind of lacks in evidence, but still, I think this point here is something that you really can't deny. It can't be a coincidence that all these news were released at the same time. So I don't think that it is a coincidence, but do we have a cartel in play? I'm not so sure about that. My task as a crypto YouTuber is to provide my viewers with the best content I can create and give my humble opinion on this. And this was, in my opinion, the most interesting thing I could find in such a boring market that we're having right now. Not a lot is happening, but I rarely do a video on a single article, but I think that this article was really very interesting and worthwhile discussing. So what do you think about it? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Check out my other videos, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, comment down below with your Litecoin address so you don't miss out on the giveaway. Good luck. Keep in mind that everything in this video is my personal opinion and not financial advice. Take care, good luck investing, and see you next time. Bye-bye.